I think some are. There's a lot of really tough Midwest camps putting on a lot of great fighters, but they don't get a lot of the media attention that some of the West Coast fighters and Brazilian fighters will get.
I don't know, Midwest fighters, upcoming fighters. I think personally, I'm representing them actually. My 145-pound Brandon Shellhart out of the Bulldog Gym. That kid he's phenomenal at 145 pounds. Actually, he's getting ready to fight another tough kid, buddy of ours, Andrew A.K. Karsten. And that kid, he went up to Duke Rufus camp for about a month or so. So he should be ready. This is the rematch part 2. I think that should be a really good fight. Also, I don't know. I'd say Terry Brickhouse out of LA Boxing is another upcoming AMI that is just. I mean,
he's a pro.
He's a pro.
He's got a couple pro fights under his belt, and dude is a beast. He brings it every time he steps in the cage. And he's one of the fighters that puts it on the line and doesn't leave it into the judge's hands very often. He's out there to finish them. And
yeah, I'd say he's capable of being on like the Tough Show.
Yeah.
You know, they should get him on like the Tough Show.
The UFC Tough.
What's his name again?
Terry House. They call him the Brick House.
Yeah, he trains LA Boxing up in the Valpo area and East Chicago, and there's a bunch of good guys that are coming out of the Midwest.
That dude's a monster.
Yeah, trains with top-notch UFC caliber fighters, and there ain't a whole lot around that are better.
There's John Koloski up there.
Koloski, Torres, Ed Torres.
Krzysztof Shasinski, he's up there.
Actually, there's going to be a Midwest show, a Coliseum Combat. They were talking about possibly getting Carson Beebe to fight Dustin the Beast Neese. Yeah, they're talking about possibly him putting his 45 pro title up on that. And that show always puts on top level competition. They bring in the best from around the Midwest. So, I mean, there are a lot of tough guys. They just don't get a lot of the exposures that some of the West Coast fighters get with being a little closer to Vegas.
Chase Davis, another Bulldog. The kid's tough.
He's just about to turn pro, I think.
He's tough.
He's very well-rounded. I mean,
a lot of the Legion guys, George Allen. I mean, how many arms is that guy broke?
Broke.
I mean, literally broke. You know. Yeah. So they're tough. He's got Ryan Berry up there.
Yeah, Boom Boom Berry.
Yeah. Eddie Torres.
Ed Torres.
You know.
What's his name? Devin Morris.
Who just had a great fight. Actually, both them guys. Ed Torres just had a great fight with little Rico Robinson.
Yeah, the last.
And that was a little controversy on the rounds or whatever, but that was a great fight. Yeah. Devin Morris actually fought a good friend of ours, Robert Thornton, and beat him with an armbar. Caught him in an armbar, but.
There's a lot of really good.
There's a lot of great fighters that even if they had the chance to get to a show like the Tough Show or something like that, or fight at some top level amateur, shows, that I think they do really well.
What do you think about Jared Brooks?
Jared Brooks is a beast.
Dude's a stud.
I mean, when it comes to that kid,
he pushes the pace, and he's got a relentless wrestling, dude. It doesn't get a whole lot better.
He was ranked #1 in the nation at 113 pounds for the longest time in wrestling. The kid is a monster, and he's hungry. Yeah. So it's
It's crazy, yeah.
He just recently fought at our show and knee-barred a kid, and that fight ended real quick. Great transition from an armbar to a knee bar, I believe it was, and it just phenomenal. Kid's phenomenal. The upcoming event in Benton Harbor, I'd say, was probably one of the best shows that's hit the area in a long, long time.
Yeah.
There was some great fights. I had a few of my buddies, actually 3 of my buddies, fighting for title belts that night. Rico Robinson, Nate Shinobi Wack, and
Robert Gravedigger Thornton.
yeah, Robert Gravedigger Thornton. We went 1 for 3. We lost 2 of those fights. Thornton lost to armbar. Rico lost to kind of a controversial decision. Yeah, he got choked. It was great fights, man. Great fights.
Overall, yeah.
George Allen fought that Eric Lozano. Lozano won, and I couldn't believe it. I honestly thought George was going to collect another arm.
Yeah. There's just a lot of great fights that night.
Relentless. Team Relentless brought in some guys that, and they did really well. Jeremy Brown brought in some guys, did really good.
A lot of diversity in the team.
Donnie Engelmeyer, man. The kid, honestly, give him respect. He finished the fight. He was getting his ass kicked the whole time. The whole time. and nothing but heart. That kid's got a lot of heart. His brother's the same way, Daniel Engelmeyer. I got to give them two some shouts out. They're tough kids. They may not have the most skill in the world, but they are tough kids.
And they're learning.
And learning, exactly. I'd say there was just all around great fights. Like Scott Johnson from Triple X Fighting puts on a hell of a show anytime he puts on a show.
Every show he puts on is a good show.
It goes big. It goes big. But we're putting on a hell of a show too, February 16th, that tapped out the Niles Inn in Niles, Michigan. We got Mike Junk fighting for Mario Napier. Dude, that's
gonna be a battle.
That fight alone is worth the price of a ticket, I promise you.
Yeah, it's in your face action.
We got Thomas Gamage versus Antonio Gray. Antoine Binion versus Chris Vance. We got Jaybird, Justin Burnham versus
the former champ. Back to fight.
Burnham versus who we got in? Phillip Evans.
Tough dude.
Who Chad just had fought.
Just fought him. Actually, it's the second time we fought. 1-1 against him. He actually caught me in a pretty good choke last fight. Surprised me a little bit. But yeah, that should be a very good fight. A couple of tough dudes. They got some stand-up and some decent ground game, and it's just going to be an all-around tough fight. There's going to, like I said, you can't beat the action there. Tapped-out fights. They're, some of these shows you go to where you'll be 25, 30 feet from the stage or from the cage, but you're close enough at the tapped out fights to get blood on you when it gets down and dirty, and everybody leaves it in the cage. It's some good fights.
Yeah, it's a little more up close and personal than most shows, and a lot of these guys that we get are 0-0, and they go in there balls to the wall.
Leave everything in the cage.
And it makes for some exciting fights, and looking forward to. We had a fighter that got shot and killed, so Gary Alilovich, and we're looking forward to putting on in his honor and doing something real nice, man. So February 16th at the Niles Inn.
It'll be a good show.
Like I said again, I'd have to say I like Brandon Shellhart as far as locally. Tough kid. Andrew Karsten, tough kid. Nate Wack is one of my favorites. He's a real good buddy of mine. I've actually set up his last few championship belt fights for him. Antoine Binion, he's like a brother. We grew up together. He's 36 years old and puts it on the line every time he gets in that cage. And he's fighting 20-year-old kids, He's an old man in the young man sport.
That's very true.
And he's representing for us old guys.
But he brings it every time he steps in the cage, and he's well-rounded. He's got a little bit of everything. So
Eli can too, with Team Relentless. Nothing but respect. Win,
lose, or draw.
Jarrell Simpson, who he just recently picked up. Miguel Pac-Man Perez. Little Miguel Vera. All them guys, they're scrappy guys, I'd say come to a tap out show. That's where, it goes down.
What do you think? I know he's kind of young, but what do you think about Blake King?
Oh, Blake King, dude is probably at the caliber to go pro now, and would stand a chance against probably 85% of the people he goes in there with. He's very, very strong dude, great wrestling, great stand-up, puts it to him.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a kid that weighs 145 pounds that benches over 300. You know what I mean? And the kid is a phenomenal wrestler.
He's an athlete.
Yeah, all-around athlete. I'd say it takes, right now, Blake King, pound for pound, is probably one of the best 145-pound amateurs, period.
Yeah.
He's actually our #1 contender. If you,
For a
Blake
title
King, coming up here real soon. We need you back in the cage for your belt fight. We will be finding you someone to fight soon.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there should be a restriction, male or female. Every time, like I promote with Tapped Out, Chris Snyder at Tapped Out, and every time we have female fights, man, the fans love it.
Yeah.
So they got that Ronda Rousey. I mean, she's breaking arms. She's got a collection of arms too.
Yeah.
You know.
They're training just as hard as the guys are. And
yeah, I say let them fight.
Yeah. It's definitely something, and the fans want to see it. I mean, 90% of the shows that you go to that have female fighters, the fans are happy. Those are one of the top fights that they want to see, besides the main event, the co-main event, and those type of fights. But are the female fights.
And from the male point of view, I think honestly, two hot chicks or two chicks getting it on fighting in the cage is pretty nice. Yeah, for sure. It definitely changes a lot of people's lives. I'd like, to think that Tapped Out, starting the fights at Tapped Out, actually changed a few people's life. Eli Cantu came to us, had never fought before, and look what he's done. He's now created Team Relentless, which has gotten really big. I mean, it's known. He was on the front cover of Hometown Contender magazine. Eli's doing
things for the community.
Yeah, Eli's doing some good things. And that started at Tapped Out.
Yeah.
MMA keeps, it can give a kid something to look forward to, something to strive to be better at. Fighting doesn't always take place in the street. There's a place you can go do that, not go to jail, and get that aggression out if that's what you're looking for. You know what I mean? Or, train as far as 24/7, and make a career out of it.
Yeah, it definitely can change your life. I mean, I went actually, before I started fighting, was into hard, heavy drugs, and getting into the gym and getting around good people and a positive environment, even just training it. I mean, I've been clean 7 years now, and I think it definitely helped out. I mean, it was something that gave me focus and somewhere in an avenue to put my aggression and my just attention to keep me away from that sort of thing. So, I mean, it can do great things, whether it's just training with some buddies in a garage or a basement, to training in a multi-million-dollar facility. I mean, it puts a positive light in so many people's lives. It's crazy.
February 16th at the Niles Inn. Doors open at 6. Fights start at 8. Got some great fights on the card. It's Fighters Are Family in memory of Gary Lilovich. He was brutally killed this past weekend. We're going to have some great things to raffle off. TXC from Michigan has donated a table of 10. VIP, it's worth $600. TWC MMA has donated 2 tickets to their show. HFC and Paul Val have donated 2 tickets to his show. We have just all kinds of great packages, man. Scott Johnson.
Oh, Scott, we're getting all the fighters and just people involved with the MMA community. You know what I mean? We got a title belt that we're trying to get everybody to sign. We're gonna give it to, I think, his girlfriend. Is that correct?
Yeah. With an 8x10 picture of Gary from his last fight.
It's just trying to show a little bit of love and respect. He was a fellow fighter. You know what I mean? He will be missed. Just trying to do a little something. Any little thing will help. I know his girl's expecting. So I know they got a fundraiser, and Team Relentless is going to be auction off some merchandise from their team. Just everybody trying to come together and help out. You know, he was a good dude, and his life was taken a little too short. I mean, you know, we're trying to help out any way we can. But
Yeah, raffles, man. Like I said, guys, $25 a ticket. You can't beat it. We got
we're at
limited
50-50.
limited seating, so
Yeah.
get your tickets while they last. Get a hold of Tapped Out on Facebook, Scott Penrod on Facebook, Chad Strange on Facebook. Any one of us can lead you to the right direction to get the tickets. So get yours while they last. February 16th, like I said, main event, Mario Napier versus Mike Junk. That fight alone is worth $25.
Yeah,
so
it's
come on out to the Niles Inn, February
Action-packed.
16th, and come.
You don't want to miss it.
No, damn good show.
Вне закона ты, вне закона я. Вне закона ты, вне закона я. Еще одно ночное окно, что будет потом? Какие перемены день принесет в дом? Бутылка на столе теплотой согревает. Забыться ненадолго мне она помогает. Печаль в душе томится, как раненая птица. Подняться хочет ввысь, к новому она стремится. Как надоело биться,